Hello, everybody. I'm Mary, and welcome to Mary Listens. This is a space for real conversations with real teachers behind the screen. Today, I'm very honored to be joined by someone very special from South Africa. She's one of the many dedicated online teachers who continue to inspire students through patience, kindness, and hard work behind the screen. But beyond teaching English, one of her greatest motivations is empowering women through confidence and meaningful communication. Like many teachers around the world, she has her own story, experiences, challenges, and lessons that deserve to be heard. So, everyone, please join me in welcoming teacher Natasha. Hi,
You.
Natasha.
Thank you very much. Hello,
Thank you
Mary.
so. Hi. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you. I know. What time is it in South Africa?
It's 18:22, so it's 20 past 6 p.m.
Mm, I see. Okay. So, let's start. Okay. I am very happy that you joined me today, and I want to know before we talk about the job in Native Camp, we want to know who are you outside of a Native Camp.
Oh gosh. First of all, I am a mum, so I always care for my kids. I make sure that they are sorted. My husband and I are very close. We love doing things together. So wherever I go, my husband goes with me, or wherever my husband goes, he goes with me. So we are very close, a close family. So I enjoy hiking. I enjoy the beach. I like quiet spaces because I work online. After work, after my shift, I don't feel like talking anymore. So I like quiet. I like some quiet, peace and quiet.
Thank you. Now, I want to know what inspired you to become an online teacher.
Wow. So my background is customer service. I've always worked in customer interaction centers, dealing with people in trouble. And when COVID-19 hit South Africa, I had to do something because I was a home executive at that time. So a home
Mm-hmm.
executive is a stay-at-home mum that does everything at home, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
had to do something and I thought, what can I do? And because I completed my bachelor's degree in counseling after the age of 40, I thought, wow, this is an excellent opportunity for me to teach online. So I completed my TEFL and I applied to Native Camp and I was lucky. First time around, I failed and they said to me I was too boring. Can you believe it? So I said, no ways. I will wait 6 months. So I waited 6 months. On the day of 6 months, I emailed the office admin to say, it's 6 months now. Can I please apply at Native Camp again? And I was super excited and I passed immediately. My first try, after 6 months, I went through. And it was Francis that passed me, even though I failed the first time. So
Mm.
never give up, people. Never give in.
Would you know that we have the same experience? Well, it's a little different, but I failed my first try because
Wow.
they told me that my background was too dark. Mm. Because
What?
I was using my old MacBook Pro, my very
Okay.
very old 2011. So
Okay.
I thought I'm okay, it's okay, but I totally understand because it's an online teaching, right?
Right.
So but then I've got a second try. They said okay, the second try. So I told my husband, oh, light me up. Well, we know what are the things that a teacher does for her students, but on a personal note, how long have you been teaching in native camp, teacher Natasha?
3 years and 4 months. I
3 years and
actually,
4 months.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I started my first, well, I signed my contract and sent through my videos, everything on my birthday 3 years
Mm-hmm.
ago. And my birthday is
When
in
is your birthday?
January. January.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so it's very special to me when I print out the employment confirmation. It shows 13
Mm-hmm.
January. Ah, I get so happy because it's like, it's special,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay. So I want to know, do you still remember your very first student.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
Exactly.
say the name? I think
So
all
I think
teachers
so.
would know.
Mm-hmm.
All teachers would know who it is. Starts with an R and it's three letters. And this little girl gave me a 1 star. And I
First
thought I
lesson.
was my first lesson. I got a 1 star, and I didn't know she gave me a 1 star. I didn't know the system at all. I didn't know what was really happening. And when it came for system update the Sunday, I saw, oh no. So I started with a 4.8 rating or 4.6 rating, something like that. It was ridiculous. So when I
Mm-hmm.
started, it was very, very difficult for me because my rating, when I went online at first, I didn't have a rating. And then I got a 4 point something rating, which was very, very low. And I got a message from the office to say, please go through your training videos. And I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And little did I know I could block her and all of that. So I blocked the student after probably a week because I was worried. What if she comes in again? I was like, wow. But I, I'm glad I stuck it out because now I think I'm over 7,300 lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad I stuck it out. Thank you, Mary. What about
You know
you?
that.
Can you remember yours?
Yes. Yes, it was a drunk woman. Camera off. Camera off and a drunk woman. And you're a native teacher, right? So
Yes.
I want to ask you, when it's your first week, do you get free tag?
I never got one. I never got a free
Mm,
tag when I started. I didn't get any 100% off, 50% off Callan. I got nothing. I was like, I emailed Native Campus. Why didn't I get this? I had introduced my friends and they all got tags. Where's my tag? And it makes you jealous because you think, why they got it? I didn't get it. What's wrong? You
mhm,
know?
mhm.
So, yeah, Native Camp, you owe me tags.
I got my free tag. I got my
Okay.
1 week free tag. So I made sure that I use it wisely, but I did not know in the beginning that I was free. So I was telling my
Ah,
husband, "Oh my God, they like me," you know, because I was so afraid that no one will enter. This
uh-huh.
is my first online company, online
Right.
teaching job. And at first I was waiting. I went on standby. No one came. I said, I'm so unlikable. But then I did not know that I had to answer quizzes to earn badges because no one
Oh,
will tell you. No one will tell you what to do. So I was standby for 2 hours. No one is coming in. I told my husband, maybe this is not for me.
oh,
Because he like me. But then I went on a non-standby mode. I click everything that I can click on the platform. And then I found out, oh, I need to answer them. Okay, so I answered them maybe for a day. Then
yeah.
after that, I got my budget. So I went
Ah,
online, I opened my slots, and then they were booking. People were
wow.
booking. So I told my husband, oh my God, they like me. But then I realized I was zero value because I was free. So I told my husband
Yeah.
again, okay, they don't like me. I'm free. That's why they're you know,
Yeah.
after that free tag, I did a lot of sudden lessons, I remember. So it was really good to go back to our humble beginnings, right?
Yes.
Mm. So,
Yes.
okay. Now, on to the other question. So, you have been here 3 years of your life.
Yes.
I want to know, what sacrifices have you made for this job, teacher Natasha?
Oh, I go to bed early at night, 8 p.m. For real, true story. I go to bed at 8 p.m. so that I fall asleep by 9 p.m. and I wake up at 1 a.m. every morning. So
Because
it's
1 a.m. is what time in Japan?
1 a.m. I think it's about 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
But I only start from 9 a.m. Japan time.
Mm-hmm.
But especially this week, I've decided just to move it over to go a bit later because it's winter now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
extremely cold. Now I'm going to sleep a bit later, so I won't wake up so early. But I make sacrifices for my family. They don't see me until I'm finished. I make sure I do my work. If I get booked classes, I make sure I'm there for my booked classes because that's like diamonds to me, right? Means a lot to me. So
To
yeah,
us.
yeah, because native camp they judge you by the amount of bookings you have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the way they measure you. So if I don't have lots of bookings, I was doing 50 bookings every cutoff. But now I'm down to like maybe 10 bookings if I'm lucky. So times have changed, money wise, financially.
Mm-hmm.
People can't afford to pay native camp coins for a native teacher. It's just difficult. And I totally understand. I cannot expect my students to book classes when they cannot afford it. So I have to be considerate and just do whatever and take the sudden lessons as it comes. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's me.
Do you prepare for your first class? Or how do you prepare for each class?
I I prepare as it comes. So especially on standby, you cannot prepare. So while I wait, I always read something. I'm reading, looking at different ways to improve my own skills, my teaching skills. What are different causes I can look at? At the moment, I'm busy with an ESOL um, course that I'm going through. I have done the TEFL, but I'm looking at the ESOL. It looks because it's a British. Um, it's on a British site, so it looks good. So I'm busy with that, but I get excited when I see my students come in. When they come in, they know, even if it's their first lesson with me, I know some students like shy away. They're like, who's this? Why is she so crazy? Why is she so busy? And it's just the energy that I bring to my classes. That's who I am. And when I see somebody that is shy and a little bit afraid, I'll calm down. And as the lesson goes, the student loosens up and we both have fun. So I always adjust to my students' needs, but I always try and be authentic. I'm always authentic and I'm honest. I'm straight with my students. I don't tell lies because if you're caught in a lie, it's not a good thing, right? So everything that I say to my students are true. It's the truth. And I know students lie to me, which is okay. Some things are really far fetched, and I'm like, I don't think that's true. But yeah, I take each student. I treat all my students differently. If they need more attention with pronunciation, I'll know how to deal with them because some don't like to be corrected over and
Corrected.
over and
Mm-hmm.
over. Whereas there are others that want to get it right. And when we get it right, we celebrate. We say, wow, and I'll put the button on, like that, So I do that with my students to keep them entertained and focused on learning and in a fun way.
Thank you. So since we are talking about students, I want to know what is one student moment you will never forget?
A student, well, I hope she sees this. She was with me for a few months, but every day she would come. And when after about 6 months with her, she came to me and she said, Teacher Natasha, I'm leaving Native Camp. This is my last week. I'm getting ready to go overseas. And I was so pleased to tell me all the wonderful things that I've helped her with. I've helped her with pronunciation, grammar, because she really struggled. And she went to France. Can you believe it? From Japan, she went to France and she's doing well. So, yeah, that student really touched my heart because she took extra effort to say thank you to me. And that I appreciate.
Mm-hmm. Mm. I think um that is one thing that I hate and love about our job because we can be heartbroken in this kind of job. That's why my mom, she didn't like me to be a teacher. She was a teacher when she was alive, and she always she told me before that I should, I can be a doctor, I can be a lawyer, I can be whatever I want to be, but not teacher. Because she said I will always be heartbroken. Hmm. I now get it, because I can experience it. Right? Students come and go. When they achieve the goal, they will go. We cannot keep them because this is
Yes.
English. I mean, this is not a necessity like food or something. But what I like about this job also, there are other students who do not treat this as an English platform alone, right?
Right.
Like many are looking for companion, looking for counselors, I think. Sometimes we are friends, we are mothers, we can be
Yes.
anyone here. Do you
Correct.
agree?
Mhm.
Mm, right. Okay, so I want to know what makes this work meaningful despite the struggles.
Wow. I think when I look at myself teaching, sometimes I shock myself. I'm like, wow,
Mm,
you did it. Sometimes, like you say, sometimes our hearts are broken. We are going through family drama. I'm a mom of teenagers. My son is 17, my daughter is 15. So I have struggles because they're teenagers. It's difficult because they know everything. So it's very, very hard for me to sometimes work and there's a problem with my kids. So when I come to my office and I say, okay, let's do this, it's almost as if I turn into somebody else. I turn into teacher Natasha. And
mhm,
that's what helps me get through my days. And most
mhm,
of the time, I have a little boy that comes to my class every day, well, almost every day, and he makes my day for sure. And
mhm,
whatever happens in our class, we will laugh, we'll do videos, he showed me how he dances, I dance for him. We have lots of fun. So it's almost as if I've got another kid in Japan.
mhm, mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
wonderful.
Right. I think. Okay. Now let's talk about the struggles.
Right.
Okay. What are your struggles when it comes to the system?
So after system update, I'm afraid to work. I cannot work on a Sunday evening. In South Africa, we are 7 hours behind Japan. So the system comes on 5 minutes to or 10 minutes to 11 in South Africa, and I cannot work that time because I'm afraid that I'm going to be kicked out of the chances of me getting bookings are very high at that time. But I cannot work that time because I'm not sure if I'll get penalized for booking. So I just stay away from the system. I don't work on a
Mhm,
Sunday night. So on a Monday morning, the minute my first student comes through, I pray. I say, please let this system work properly. And every class is recorded. It's stressful. It's very stressful for me because when it's as soon as you see the lines going dot 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 dot,
mhm,
you get hot flashes. You don't know what to do because it's terrible. It's terrible. So on a
mhm,
Monday, I'm stressed. Work is
mhm,
stressful on a Monday,
mhm.
right? Tuesday, it's
Right.
fine because Tuesday things just quiet down somehow.
Mm,
But yeah,
mhm,
that's a problem I have. The refresh button is not my friend at the moment. It's like anti. I gotta almost like block it out. But I would love that refresh button because it just corrected everything when it needed correcting, you know?
mhm,
So for me, if we could use the refresh button again, that would be wonderful. But at the moment, I don't touch anything. I tell my students, you refresh. I'll wait. So I sit back and I wait.
exactly. Right. Asking our students to refresh for us politely is is okay, especially if we are dealing with a regular student, right? But if you encounter a new student, first time student, elderly, or non techie students, it would be a problem, right? Because we do not know what they see. And then if we say refresh, students do not care if refresh, what's the difference between refresh and reconnect, right? If I say refresh, they will reconnect, right?
Yeah.
Or they have, they have to go out, they have to come back again, and all
Mm,
those things. But this is not a complaint, but this
mm,
is from platform users like us,
mhm. Yeah.
that I know that native camp is pro student. That's the business model ever since I started here. And maybe I think sometimes I hate it, sometimes I have to understand it, you know.
Mhm.
And honestly, maybe it's good for us because there are many English platforms.
Yeah.
So being a having a pro student model, business model, is actually good, I think. But
Yeah.
sometimes I wish that they could also, you know, listen to feedback, especially
Mm.
from teachers,
Right.
because as you said, reconnect button is our best friend,
Right.
right? Because if we ask them to reconnect for us, it wouldn't be a good experience for them. And then we are also afraid of the low rating because we have consumed their time.
That is a big problem because we don't
Mm,
know what to do. Sometimes, if we have to say to a student, refresh or reconnect or whatever, students don't know where to click.
mhm,
So they're
mhm,
looking, you're looking there. I'm like, now you're sitting and waiting. I'm so sorry. I'll wait for you to complete the refresh. Or,
instead
and
of us doing it for them,
right, right.
right?
So,
Mm.
and that causes students not to come back too. If it's a new student, if it's a first time arrival in my class, students never going to come back to me. I've seen it
Mhm,
since last week.
mhm,
Last week
mhm,
was quite bad. I had a
mhm,
terrible week because of the refresh button. It was fresh last week. This week we're a little bit more casual about it because we
mhm,
know what's
mhm.
happening. Last week we were all walking on eggshells.
I think so until this week, right?
Yeah.
But I have a question. Have you experienced you're doing sudden classes? Are you doing sudden classes or only book classes?
No, I don't get much book classes. So I do standby classes. I do about 10 a day.
Okay, I have a question. After your one sudden class ended, what some of the teachers experience forever loading, like something will pop inside the chat box that please refresh, log in, log out, please refresh. But oops, we cannot click the refresh button. Even native camp, I think are confused because
Yeah.
there's the refresh button. It says there, but we cannot touch that, right?
Right.
Because of the danger of being terminated, right, or
Mhm.
being deactivated. But I want to know, what do you do if the system is continuously loading after your sudden lesson and then you have a booking? What do you do? How do you recover?
I record it. I record and I wait. I don't touch anything. I record and I wait, and I've been lucky to that my book classes actually came through. But that's like one booked class after a sudden. I haven't had much of them, so I cannot really compare. What I have seen is another message that comes on the top, like where the standby button is. There's a thing that says there, um, uh, where you must either refresh or deny, something about like that. So
Reload,
yeah,
reload the
reload.
page.
Yeah, I
Mm,
just say deny and I wait, and it worked. It worked both times. So I
mhm.
was lucky, I think.
Okay, with some other teachers, they experience 10 minutes, 20 minutes that
Wow.
page will load. And they won't press the refresh button because we are prohibited to do so.
Yeah.
Okay, and then now we are talking what is the best way to do this? But
Mm,
I hope we can get a reply, a
yeah.
specific instruction, maybe what
Yeah.
can we do? What I do sometimes, I add tab. Okay, I add tab, and then
Yeah.
once I have an active, I am on standby. If I have another book class or I am on the dashboard when I don't have a book class, then that's the time that I close the one that's forever loading.
Loading.
But honestly,
Mm,
I'm not sure if I'm doing it right.
yes.
I just
Because what
also
if you
pray to
lose
God.
everything completely, and then you got to pay for your
Exactly.
cancelled class, teacher's cancellation?
That is one of the concern. But now the concern is that we can get a warning to be that we will be deactivated or terminated because
Right.
we refuse a class or we ended the class. That's the
Oh,
main concern. Before, the main concern is losing our incentive and paying it. But now
yes.
my concern is not that anymore. My concern is to be terminated or to be deactivated. So
Yeah.
that's the reason I hope that we can get a
Mm,
proper instruction what to do. Right?
right.
Instead, as you said, we are walking on eggshells. We
Yes.
want to do our best, but at the same time we are waiting for
Yes.
we just saw that they discourage us from pressing that. Don't press that.
Yeah.
And just click the reconnect button. But the reconnect button sometimes is grayed out.
Yeah. Yes, we cannot click the reconnect. I've seen it.
Mhm,
I've been
mhm,
watching everything that happens on the screen,
mhm,
especially when there's a disconnect. But
mhm,
we're not sure if it is native camp, the students. We know it's not ours because we're running tests all the time. I do
mhm,
speed tests like
mhm,
maybe once every hour,
mhm,
and I work with a LAN cable, so there is no way I can lose connection.
mhm.
So
Agree.
yeah. So how do we know
Mhm.
if it's the student or native camp? We don't know.
That's another story about the
Mm,
pop-ups.
yeah.
Okay, the
Oh
pop-ups,
gosh.
the pop. Why? Oh gosh, what can you say about the pop-ups? Come on, help me
I
here.
never noticed the pop-ups until this week, Monday, Tuesday. It seemed to be coming up more often. I never normally get all these pop-ups. But from Monday, I've noticed if you just say something and you talk, and next thing there's something that comes up, and then you go, you click it out, and then another thing comes up. So it's constantly
Mhm,
reminding us, but then you lose focus. I cannot read
mhm.
that and concentrate on my student.
I think it
So
happened one day where the teachers are seeing your internet is disconnected, your internet is disconnected, your
yes,
internet is disconnected. Right? There was a day that that happened. But what I'm talking about is when there's a pop up. For example, the student's internet connection is slow.
hmm,
Then a pop up will appear on their side saying that teacher's internet connection is slow. And
yes,
then on our side, the student's
student,
internet is bad, right? So it's not good. But I think the pop up is maybe they're not in the right place. I think maybe our IT department can hear us today. Like
yeah,
if it's true that it's our internet connection, that pop-up should be ours and
yes,
inform us that your internet is not good so we can do something about it. But
yes,
never pop to the student side that it's the problem of the teacher
mm,
because we are all dead. Low rating, complaint,
yeah,
right? It will not come back anymore, right? So these are the dangers.
hmm,
Again, these are not complaints, but these are all the
concerns.
reality, right?
Yes.
Exactly,
Hmm.
right? So
It is concerning
yeah.
because this is our jobs. This is a job.
Mhm,
Even though we're working from home, this we are
mhm,
professionals and we got to be treated like professionals. But our systems have to be professional too, you know? So I mean, I when I get ready for work, I'm ready. I'm ready to take a class professionally.
mhm,
The system has
mhm.
to do the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also I understand that there's no perfect system. I understand that,
Right.
right? But I have been reading posts from different teachers group. They have been in native camp 6 years, 8 years, and it's the same problem. So but honestly, I'm not sure if many teachers would say find another job. If you're
Mm.
not happy here, find another job. You keep on complaining. What can you say about that?
I did find another job, but about maybe 2 months ago. But once again, I love native camp. I love native camp. I really, really do.
Mm,
I like the flexibility of it. I like the punctuality of it. Everything is on point. Time is in. Your money's in. Everything is in. Time is no problem. I love it. The other company, there was a problem with time, and I like to plan my time. I like to plan ahead because I'm a mum and wife. I have to be I have to be on my game.
mhm.
And Native Camp keeps me on my game. I'm very happy with the company. But yeah, I could change something.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I think many teachers maybe they're thinking that I'm an activist, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like I always say a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But it is because, for example, I consider Native Camp as my home. When I joined Native Camp, I took a break for 2 years after my cancer. Okay. And then I told my husband I want to find a work from home job. And when I found Native Camp, it brought me back my worth. So I felt a home here. This is my home. And in our home, if something is not right, we do not keep quiet. We fix it, you
Yes.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason in my wild not in my wildest dream that I would thought that I would do a podcast like this.
Uh-huh. Me
So
too. I never thought this could happen.
exactly, but
Mm,
I am thinking maybe our dear management may or they can see the faces,
mhm,
that we are not part of the system. We are not a button on the system, but
mm.
we are real humans who
Yeah.
truly love and respect this company. You know,
Mhm.
again, there's a difference between raising awareness and complaining.
Right.
We want to do better, but we
Mhm.
also need a system that would support us. We
Right.
need a management, we need people who will also treat us with respect, who would listen and who would
Mhm.
reply,
Yes.
with our concerns,
Mhm.
right? we are
And
we
not
are not
just
villains.
right. And not just send automated responses. Send a response to say, "Hi, teacher Natasha. I got your query. You could do it this way. You could do it that way." Like that. Not just random responses that don't sometimes make sense. So
Mm-hmm,
we know when we answered in a correct way or just a never minded way, right?
mm-hmm, hmm. That's true. But the problem with the refresh button now, and about the mass activation, deactivation and mass termination, I think even the admins, I think even them, they do not know what to say, or they do not know how
Ah,
to respond anymore, because maybe even them are also affected. So what I'm trying to say here is that, okay, I want to know, if management were listening right now, Internet Alpha, what would you want them to understand about teachers?
about teachers, that we are people. We have feelings, we have emotions, and we also have power. We have power in the company because we are dealing with their students. They are our
Mm-hmm,
students, but they've subscribed to Native Camp and we are representing Native Camp. So if they
mm-hmm,
can treat us like family, because we are a
mm-hmm,
big family, we should
mm-hmm,
take care of each other. The management should care about us. Even native teachers, even though we are far away, don't treat us like we're far away. Treat us like we
mm-hmm,
belong. If we belong, if all of us feel like we belong to the company and we are heard, it makes a big difference, I think. It makes a big difference to me.
Why? What happens to a teacher's confidence when they feel disposable?
Absolutely. It it brings us down so much. I know what it's like to get it. I got a 2 star from a student and it was a
Mm,
substituted class. And
mm,
it was bad. Because the student came in the class and rolled his eyes. I sent the,
mm,
the recording to Native Camp. They did nothing
mm,
about it. Nothing. So it almost feels as if you don't nobody's got your back in the company. You got to fight. Got to fight, fight, fight. Keep fighting. I don't want to fight. I want a happy job. I want to be happy to come to Native Camp, work, get my money, everything. Everyone's happy. And also,
right, right.
when we ask for a rating removal, look at it and give us a detailed feedback if it's not accepted. If you're not going to,
Mm-hmm,
if you say no, it's a correct rating, we agree, they should tell me, Natasha, you should do this, you should do that. Improve on that skill, improve on that skill. But if I send you a recording and you do absolutely nothing about it, it breaks my heart
mm-hmm,
because I took the time. I could have been with my family, but I had to copy, paste, do this, fill in that form, all the different forms. It's like Fort Knox. You got to like fight to get in and do stuff. If you don't do it correctly, you don't know because nobody tells you anything. There is absolutely no feedback. So communication
right.
is key, I think.
How do you feel when Sunday night is coming?
I try. So for South Africa, 5 p.m. is midnight in Japan. From 4:30 I am restless. My heart beats fast, and my head pains. I sweat. I think about all the students. I like my mind plays tricks on me because it's such a big thing. When the rating update comes, like and I get all 5 stars, like you
Exactly.
know,
Mm-hmm,
it's stressful. It's very very stressful. But I understand the system. I understand we have to get rated. I do understand.
mm-hmm,
but also be fair with us as teachers when we come and say this is an incorrect rating, right?
Right, I think so. Because rating is our foundation, right?
Right,
It's the basis of our job here, whether we like it or not, right?
right,
The rating is our life.
right.
Mm.
How do you
So,
feel?
to be honest, I have been raising concerns about rating, about cancellations for um since last year, I think. And I got
Uh-huh,
banned from open space because I posted, you know, one, two, three, four, five. I categorized and I posted them, but it's a repeated post. I did not
mm,
know. That repeated post is amen, 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 amen. The same thing. But I have numbers because of the character count limitation.
yes,
But that's another story. But what I want to say is that I hope that they could rating is good because it pushes us to do our best. Competition I think is also good. It's healthy,
yeah,
so we won't be complacent.
mm-hmm,
But if the rating itself is attacking us, how? For example, 0 to 1 minute class cannot
yes,
enter your class. These people, these students that who do not understand how to rate well, you have a chance to get 1 star from that kind of lesson you know but the problem is we do not know from where the rating came from, what textbook.
yes, yes, we don't know.
So I understand that we should not know who the student is. It's okay. But at least maybe we should be informed what textbook at least. Because
Yes,
we are not fortune tellers here. We do not know
mhm,
what happened. In the 0 to 1 minute class, if they really do not want to tell us what textbook, our IT department should program the system that if it's
mm,
a 0 to 1 or 0 to 2 minute class, they are not allowed to rate. I think
yes,
they can program the system that way so that we
right,
don't have to send a rating removal request, with 12 steps, I think, copy, then Biaso or Google Drive or anything, a lot of it, right? So
yes,
it's even more than the 10 commandments. So I sometimes I do not know what to do, right?
yeah,
It's time consuming. So
mm,
0 to 2 minute class or 0 to 3 minute class, I'm not sure, but those those classes should not be allowed. That's those students should not be allowed to
to
rate
rate.
us.
And
Even the
also
trial students. Mm,
trial students, students that
mm,
come for less than 5 minutes, and substituted classes should not be rated. So if you get a substitute class, we should not be rated on it because the system is
why?
forcing us to take it. They're sending the
Mm,
lesson to us. The student did not choose us. And that's the first problem. If I don't choose something for myself, I'm not going to like it,
mm,
right?
mm,
If a student wanted me in the first place, they would have booked my lesson. That's what I say.
mm, mm,
Why
mm,
send me a substitute class? And I'm happy, yes, because it's money. But money's not everything here. To me, my happiness is more more important to me. I want to be happy. I don't want to be nervous and worried about what students are going to say. You don't know how to act. And especially with my personality, I'm like awake and I'm ready to take a lesson. I'm excited to meet you, and we, it's met in a wrong way, and incorrect or misunderstood. And when we misunderstood, it leaves too much. It gives the student too much power. We cannot give students
exactly.
so much power. No.
I think so. Another one, have you had students who never talk in the class, who did not talk? Like camera off, they will mute you, they will never talk. But you have
Right
to
at the
stay there for
beginning.
25 minutes.
Right at the beginning. I had that.
Hmm.
Um,
Right.
but yeah, I don't know. I should be happy I don't get it anymore because you
Right,
panic. You don't
right.
know
But
what to do.
exactly. And that is also, eh, they have the power to rate us too.
Yes,
So for me, if the system will not pick up any voice from on the other side, on the student side, the system should automatically be programmed that they are not allowed to rate.
yes,
Because for free conversation, they can measure. the speaking ratio, right? They can measure
Yes.
that. So I think if they can measure that, they can also hear that there's no one talking on the other side, so
Mhm.
it would save us a lot of time, I think,
Yeah.
right? So
Or
anyway,
sorry,
go, go, go.
or if there is no sound from the other side, native cam should block off our sound and video to protect the teacher, because in that
Because they
case
can
we
see
don't know what
us.
the student's doing. They can see us. We're not allowed to switch our cameras off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they
Exactly,
just shut
exactly.
down the whole class, if there
Hmm.
can be something from native cam that just shuts it down,
Hmm.
that would help, right?
I think so. I think so. All right. I think we need a part two because we have a lot of things to talk about, right?
Oh,
But
okay.
but okay, but we have talked about some pressing topics, I think, some pressing issues. But I want to end this in a positive note, okay? We both said earlier that we love native camp, right? So
Yeah.
I want to know what makes native camp unique compared to other platforms.
Mm, the flexibility. You can literally go on and off in a click.
Hmm.
Literally.
Hmm.
You just click yourself off. I love it that I don't have to tell my boss I need to go to the
Hmm.
shops, or I need to, my kid is sick. We can,
Hmm.
the flexibility is fantastic. That is why I'm at Native Camp. The flexibility and being paid on time.
You always say that, but I think that is also one of their biggest strengths,
Mhm.
right? But aside from financial benefit, what opportunities did native camp give you that you are grateful for?
So when I first started at Native Camp, the Callan method was so intriguing for me, because I've been watching it and I was like, wow, this is so cool. And and I wasn't a teacher before then. So everything is new to me. I was like a little child in a toy store. And the more I watched the different videos on the learning kit, I was like, "Oh, I want to do that." And I said to Native Camp, I want to do it. They said, no, it's not for me. I was like, why? Other students, other teachers are teaching it. Why can't I? No, I have to wait. I'm like, okay. So my spirit was dropped a little bit. But I think last year, maybe a year ago, 1.5 years ago, they gave me the opportunity. I was like, what? And then I said, I'm going to do it. So I practiced. I did the demos. I did everything. It was an invitation to do it. So I had to complete. I struggled to do it at first. The first one was the Callan method, new. That one. I battled. I was like, how do I do it? Because I have to record myself. And I don't want to record myself, right? We're so shy, right? Modest. I ended up doing all three. I did the Callan method, I did the kids Callan, and the business Callan. So for me, Native Camp has pushed me in that way. It's like I can do it, and it's also
Mhm.
opened up um, my imagination when it comes to certain
Mhm.
ways of teaching, because I
Mhm.
make it real. When the scenarios come, it's real to me. I have hats under my desk. I look here, even this little, I've got everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So for me, Native Camp has almost like shown me another side of me, the
Mhm.
dramatic side. Like I feel like an actress that time.
That's true, and also the students. I think the students are very important
Yes.
in our job. Not because, of course they are the customers here, but we develop connections, real connections.
Yeah.
And I think no amount of money can top that,
I
right?
agree.
All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, anyway, Teacher Natasha, I would love to say thank you for um joining me today. I think we can do part two because we have a lot of things to talk about, system wise. But I love how our podcast went because I think it's very real,
Yes.
you know. Mm. So, but again, I would like to say thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you will have many more bookings moving forward, and I also hope that we can have our refresh button back, you know,
Yes.
and
Bring it back.
mm, bring it back, right? So, anyway, I will see you again next time.
Yes.
And thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.